snoring. Such a loud snore.
Okay. Sorry about that, everyone.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, sorry, we had a technical difficulty there. The Zoom video that we were doing stopped recording. Okay, so we were talking about how it's weird that her parents were like, you're going to be a figure skater in the Olympics. And she was like, cool.
Oh, well, she's 4, so she's like, okay.
Well, this is 4 and it goes on and on and on and on and on. She was, God damn it, now I can't see myself. Kenny, will you get that box out of the way?
Yep.
Don't exit though, because I don't know how to get back to that. Just like minimize it.
You guys are really getting it behind the scenes.
Shit. Okay. All right. So she's doing this for years and years. For all intents and purposes, she is training to be an Olympic figure skater. She is an award-winning pianist, which I think is a funny word.
Wow.
And
she was like successful.
And she was a straight A student.
Okay, I thought you were going to say stripper for a minute. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa.
stripper.
Wow.
No, I'm a straight A
so
student.
She's just got it all.
Yes. Her parents were very frugal. And so they were able to save their money from their jobs at the factory. They bought a very large house in the area where they were living in Canada. I don't know where. They had luxury cars. So like Han had like a Lexus, and like Vic, the mother, had like,
and these
whatever.
like piano classes and skating could not be cheap. Like,
I would assume not.
So they're trying to keep up with the Joneses in addition to.
Yes. But they're able to because they pinch pennies in other places, and like their kids have zero social life.
Got it.
So that's a money savings.
Yes, it is.
So what happens is there is something called the night of the crime.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. There's a surveillance camera that catches 3 men with guns outside the Pan house.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Was this a Dateline, I wonder?
It probably was.
Yeah.
It's insane. So the assailants tie Jennifer to a railing with her shoelace, and they take her parents to the basement. And the last thing she hears are what she believes to be gunshots. So I have the recording of the 911. I mean, I don't have the actual recording. I have
I'm like, damn, you fancy.
No, I have a transcript I'm going to read to you. Okay, operator. What's your name? Jennifer. My name's Jennifer. Stop texting me, everyone. Jennifer. Oh, operator. Someone broke in? Jennifer. Someone broke in and I heard shots pop. I don't know what's happening. I'm tied upstairs. Operator. Did it sound like gunshots? Jennifer. I don't know what gunshots sound like. I just heard a pop. And I'm like, valid.
Fair. I mean, yeah.
Han Pan, the father, you can hear in the background screaming. Jennifer. I'm okay. My dad just went outside screaming. Operator, do you think your mom is downstairs too? Jennifer, I don't hear her anymore. Jennifer, please hurry. I don't know what's happening. Operator, ma'am. Jennifer, I don't know where our parents are. That's the end of the call.
Okay, but you said she's tied up with a shoestring?
Yeah, you know how when you get tied up with shoestrings, how
and
hard
you can
that
still
is?
make a phone call?
Yeah, get ready. Get ready for this shit.
I suspect something's fishy, Mo. What do you think?
Han, the father, is taken to the hospital because he is still alive, and they put him in an induced coma.
Oh.
So unfortunately, Vic, the mother, was shot multiple times in the back, and she had a fatal shot to the back of her head.
Oh, okay.
And so she was DEAD, dead, upon arrival. Okay. Police do find Jennifer upstairs, tied as she had described. But the question that they had was, how did you call 911 if you were tied up?
Yes.
And so
Jennifer, you're smarter than
in
this.
the interrogation room where she was taken, she tries to show them how she got her cell phone out of her back pocket while her hands were tied behind her back to the railing and was able to call from down here, like below the belt.
Okay.
But like behind her back below the belt.
So you wouldn't hear her very well.
No, unless she was shouting.
Yeah.
And then you'd be able to be like, she was shouting into the phone.
Yeah. And you'd be afraid to do that because if people are breaking in your house, you're like.
Right. And the other question was, why did the killers leave her completely unharmed? Like she wasn't beat up. She didn't have any. She was pistolless.
It's not like they use zip ties.
And it's not like they were like, oh, cool, a girl in her 20s, like, because at this point she's in her 20s.
Okay, so she's
she's late teens, early 20s, and I mean, you would think like, if I don't know, like these kind of people might be into raping, whatever.
Or just doing terrible things.
Yeah, just because they're terrible people. I don't know. And then why did the father run out of the house instead of coming to find his daughter who he knew was in the house?
Oh, I didn't even think about that part.
Like he ran out of the house screaming.
Because he was afraid of his daughter because, sorry.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. So Pan comes out of a coma, and he was shot in the face at close range.
Oh my God.
I never understand how people are shot in the head, face, neck,
And like that's your
chest.
Like, let's say Jennifer did do it. I don't remember the story. I vaguely remember maybe, but I don't remember what happened. But how could you do that to anybody, but let alone your parents?
Yeah. Well, don't mind that slurping noise. It's Callie getting a drink.
This girl's thirsty.
Your neighbor's wearing a belly shirt. I can see her stomach. Okay.
She's a young college girl.
Oh, okay. And she's allowed. Okay. So it turns out Jennifer is not who she appeared.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun. So this isn't the survival story of Jennifer Pan. It's a survival story of
Her dad.
Han Pan. That's why I have trouble with this, because his name is Han. And then I'm like, is it Han Pan? That rhymes. I don't know. So Han Pan sounds better to me. Whatever. I'm not in charge of the names. Okay. So Jennifer is not who she appeared to be. It turns out that as she started high school, she started secretly dating someone.
Ooh, and that was a big no-no to her parents, I'm sure. Big
no-no. So his name is something wrong. I think it's Jason. Nope, I'm sorry. That's who I went to high school with. His name is Daniel Wong. Okay.
AKA Jason.
In my head, it's Jason because I went to high school with him and maybe middle school. Anyway. Jennifer is not who she appears. She started to date him. They started to have the sex. Her grades were slippity dipping. But here's what she did. Listen to this bullshit. She started to take her report cards and doctor them.
I mean, do you blame her?
Like,
I would.
But I didn't have that kind of time or energy in high school to be doctoring my.
We did that in junior high to a friend of mine. Her parents were very hard on her. Like anytime she got bad grades, they were just awful to her. So we would change her report card via a typewriter at my dad's house. And then she never got in trouble.
Oh my.
Those F's could easily be turned into A's.
It's also very easy to doctor one now if we wanted to. I messed around with it and never actually gave it to my mom.
See.
But like in Photoshop, you can easily just change the
I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I did get straight A's, so I didn't
Okay.
have to doctor.
So I didn't have to.
Shit.
I did not get straight A's, but I was also helping a friend out.
I like that for you. I love that journey for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we used a typewriter, so it was a lot harder
Yeah,
back
it
then.
was a lot harder for you. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had to like line it up and then little white out. It worked every time.
It did not work. Oh, I'm sorry, it did work for Jennifer. She fooled her parents.
yeah.
Get ready. So she would like fix her stuff. Well, it turns out that she. Oh,
Get it,
Callie.
girl.
Also around this time, her ice skating career wasn't doing well. Right?
Oh yes. So around this time, she starts dating this Jason guy, and part of that is because she had more time on her hands because she hurt her knee
or ankle. I can't remember.
one of those joints in her legs.
Something important to skating.
Yeah, and so she couldn't continue her training, and so she couldn't become the Olympic athlete her parents wanted her to be.
No pressure.
So she had to focus on school.
She had to focus on school and being a pianist. But she also focused on having sex with
She focused on
Daniel.
the penis instead.
She's like, I want to be a pianist.
I want to be a penis.
I want to tickle the ivory sticks.
Oh.
Sorry, that was so gross. So sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Cut that out, Kenny. Now, so she can't skate, so she's got this time, so she starts seeing Daniel. I keep wanting to call him Jason, and she ends up failing math in her senior year of high school, and so she is short on credits to graduate.
Oh no!
So the lie has gotten out of hand to the point where it's not just like, yeah, I have worse grades than my parents ever thought. It's like, now I'm not going to graduate.
High school.
So
not college, high school.
she lies to her family and says that she has, but I think there was something like she couldn't have people come, or like there were limited seats or some shit like
Yeah, I can't
that.
remember.
So there
Like
was
she
a
hasn't
reason
even- oh.
that they couldn't come to her graduation.
Oh.
But she didn't walk anyway because she didn't learn it. And then she created an acceptance letter. Her dad was like, well, if you can't be an Olympic athlete, I'd like if you were a pharmacist.
Jeez, let this girl make her own
Well, he wanted her to
decisions.
be a doctor, but he said she didn't have the stomach for that sort of thing.
Or the grades.
So she comes up with a fake acceptance letter from Ryerson University.
Okay.
And she would lie to her family and tell them she was going to school. But what she was really doing was she was sitting in cafes. She was teaching piano, which is
Oh,
nice.
okay.
That's a good gig.
That's a good.
She worked as a waitress, all these little
So
odd
she had
jobs.
jobs. They just weren't up to her parents.
Correct.
Up to snuff with her parents. Okay.
Right.
I
And
kind
so
of get it.
when
she's rebelling.
when she had this extra money and her parents were like, where are you getting this money? She was like, I want a scholarship. Like she just kept going. Like the lies on lies on lies.
You would think like the high school not graduating thing would scare her.
One would think. But it just egged her on. I'm so
She's like,
excited.
I'm
for
really
her.
good at this.
I'm good at lying. I'm gonna keep going. So then she tells her parents that she got into a very prestigious pharmacology school in Toronto.
At least she knew how to say it. I would have been like, I want a pharmacy school. And my parents would be like, that's not how you say it. No, you're not.
Okay, but get ready for this shit. Cause I'm like, okay, you might, like, what are you doing? She got secondhand textbook. She watched pharmaceutical videos on YouTube and she would take notes so that when she would come home for dinner with her parents, she could talk about what she learned in
But
school.
wouldn't you just be like, I'm an adult. This is what I'm doing.
No, apparently that's not what you do if you're Jennifer Pan.
I'm moving to the United States. I'm leaving. I don't know anything, but
Yeah,
what
so she did all this work. She learned all this pharmacy stuff. And then it was all for naught because she was just like doing it to look the
appease her
part.
parents.
Yeah. And she also asked her parents if she could stay with a friend who lived near Toronto. But that friend was actually Daniel
So
Wong.
they're still together. That was my next question.
Yes, they're still together.
Okay.
She's still sleeping with him / dating. Now, an interesting twist of events is he got really sick of her, like doing
Lying?
all the lying to the parents and like sneaking around, and like she couldn't be out in public with him because
Yeah, he's
they
like, you're
didn't
an adult. Like, let's
right,
move
like
on.
he got sick of it, and so he broke up with her at one point, started dating someone else. Well, Jennifer comes up with a lie to get him back. So at one point during this breakup, he starts seeing someone else. She calls him crying that she has been gang raped and she's scared for her life and that she needs him back. And so he comes back to her.
Oh my God. Pathological. Who
You can't make up gang raping. That is wrong on many levels.
And like, wouldn't you think to yourself, like, maybe there's something wrong? Maybe there's something mentally going on with me that I'm doing these things.
I don't know. I don't know if she realized it. Okay. So, so she has to stay with a friend off campus near Toronto where the pharmacology school is. And the friend is Daniel and his family. He's still living at home with his parents. So she's now living with Daniel and his parents. So
Oh,
his
boy.
parents are fully aware
Hmm.
that she is there and not going to pharmacology school. So then she says to her parents, I've graduated from pharmacology school. Again, you can't come to the graduation. And I'm volunteering at a hospital. I'm like,
What?
girl, you
get a-
graduated. You get a job.
You've got student loans.
You got to get working. So she says
Cut those pills.
she's volunteering. So she would dress up and drive to a hospital. And one day, Bick, her mother, followed her.
So they're starting not to buy it.
Yeah. They're like,
Something suspicious.
Yeah, so she follows her and Jennifer goes into the hospital and hides for 4 hours.
So she knows her mom's following her.
She saw it and so she hid. So basically Bick figures out that this is all a lie. She comes home, tells Han about it, the father, and they confront Jennifer. So now her lie has been exposed and it all comes out. That she's been with Daniel Wong, that she never graduated high school, that she didn't go to college, that she's not in pharmacology school. And
She didn't graduate high school.
yeah, exactly. So the ultimatum was laid and it was basically that you have to never see Daniel Wong again.
Because he's the problem.
You have to live in our house and finish high school. Like that's what you have to do. Because this is, and then go to school like you said you would and become a pharmacist.
You're already halfway there.
I mean, you've already done all the studying, just do it. So instead of doing this, Jennifer decides to hire a professional hitman.
Oh my God.
So she tells them that she can pay them $10,000 to kill her parents, which I was like, that seems low.
That seems low. And where is she getting $10,000?
Well, because once her parents are dead, she stands to inherit $500,000 in life insurance.
Gross.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Mm.
So she's going to pay him out of that. So basically what happened during the robbery is, excuse me, she had hired these 3 guys that like Daniel knew through a friend, and they were like thugs. Sorry to tickle my throat. Doing the best part. So he knows these thugs and she hires them and they break into her house, but it's only because once her parents or once she went upstairs to go to bed, she went in her room and flicked her light on a few times, like on and off,
to warn them,
to tell them, come in now, I'm upstairs. So they broke in, ambushed her parents, and took them down to the basement, where she then came downstairs. They tied her wrists in front of her parents while she talked to them in a friendly fashion.
Oh my God.
So her parents, before they killed the mother and shot the father in the face, she was being soups friendly with the people who just broke in.
It seems so much easier to just be like, I'm going to be out this night. Go
right,
and
like
do your thing.
you go do it and then I'm going to stay upstairs.
Or just say like, I'm going to a friend's house tonight.
Right. She's diabolical. Like to be able to do that and
come down in front of your parents and be like,
look
here
them
you
in
go,
the eye
tie me up so I can go do my thing.
Gross.
So Han saw his daughter come downstairs, saw her get tied up, and saw her speaking in a friendly manner to one of the guys who was about to shoot him.
So he
knew that she was in on it. So he did testify against his own daughter.
Good.
She was arrested on November 22nd of 2010. And she admitted that she hired the hitmen. And she said in her case, because she can't stop lying, that she hired them to kill her because she felt so terrible about everything she'd done to her parents.
No one believes that.
Well, no, they didn't.
Actually, tell me what they believed.
They believed that they started the trial on March 19th of 2014. So 4 years later is when the trial started, which I was like, damn, Gina.
Did she stay in jail that whole time, do you think?
Probably, yes. It was in Newmarket, Canada, which I was like,
I can't imagine her dad posted bail.
No.
And I'm sure Daniel Wong didn't have the money.
Yeah,
and his parents weren't going to post a bail.
The trial lasted 10 months, which I was like, dang.
Wow.
Okay. On December 13th of 2014, all the people that were involved, like the 3 hitmen and Jennifer, were all convicted. They were all sentenced to life without parole for at least 25 years.
Wow.
So they are destined for 25 years in jail and possible life if they don't get parole.
I feel like because she's been a compulsive liar her entire life, she should just probably stay there.
I'm gonna be honest though. I mean, it's like, I don't obviously say this is like a good thing, like at all, but you know, everyone's parents to some degree fuck them up a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
But like
her
parents really did some shit.
Stepped away.
She could have. I wish she had another support system that could have been like, listen, you can just walk away.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of like blaming your parents. Like
no, there's something wrong with her.
There's something wrong with her lying and like getting so. She needs help.
Yeah,
that's what she needs.
But she'll just be in jail.
Yeah.
So good for her. So anyway, so the survival story of Jennifer Pan turns into the survival story of Han Pan. He still has Felix.
I know.
Let's get excited about Felix, the other kid.
I wonder what Felix thinks about all this.
He's probably just engineering somewhere.
He's like,
see, I'm the good kid.
He's like, see, I moved away. Bye.
You know what I did? I did what they told me and then I moved away.
Right.
Good for you, Felix.
Oh. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I feel like I saw that not on Dateline, but it's been a while. Like
it's been around for a while, and I've definitely heard.
Happened.
I've heard a couple podcasts about it, but yeah,
she's a good one.
She's an insane person.
crazy.
Kenny?
Okay. A bus service was delayed following reports of what in a tree? And it's not a croissant.
Ooh, I was gonna guess
I
croissant.
was gonna guess a cat. Just kidding.
Okay, a bus was delayed because of
Reports of something in a tree.
Huh. Does it matter like the city or anything? Can you give us any more details to lengthen this out so I can think of something?
I don't know the city.
Is it a bomb?
It's not a bomb.
Okay.
Was it a? I mean, I really want to guess like a person, but that's not really that weird.
It's a little weird.
I mean, it'd be weird, but.
Pee Wee Herman in a tree.
It was a yacht that got stuck in a tree.
Oh.
Was it a big yacht?
It was a big yacht. It was.
Was it a big tree?
The tree's actually kind of small. They were, towing it and just got caught in the tree.
Oh.
Oh.
I see.
I thought you were. I thought you were gonna say there was a big wave and it went up and then it
in the tree.
in like some big tree.
I'm
They
just
were
picturing
transporting it.
I'm
Okay.
just picturing like a tree-lined neighborhood, and I'm thinking of all the animals that could get caught in that.
I just assumed it had to be
Or a
something.
person.
I thought it just had to be something dangerous, so I thought bomb.
Like an old school like black bomb with a sprinkler thing coming out of
Yes,
it.
and a couple anvils. Yeah, it was perfect. Okay, thanks, Kenny.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sweating. So, and thanks for listening to Sip, Survive, Repeat.
Bye.
Bye.
Look at our rose bush.